Hey everyone, Maestro here, the football enthusiast. Let's get started. So, this is my video where I will be making my predictions for the Champions League and also the Europa League. If you don't know, the draw has been officially made. Real quick, we'll start with the Europa League. What we've got right now is Man United versus Sevilla, Juventus versus Sporting, Leverkusen versus Union Saint-Gilloise. Sorry if I'm butchering that name, probably am. And Feyenoord versus Roma. And then, of course, the big one, we have Real Madrid versus Chelsea, Benfica versus Inter, City versus Bayern, and AC versus Napoli. So, I don't usually... Sorry, one second. Sorry about that. I don't usually like making predictions. See, the thing is, so many things... So, from the point where you make the prediction and to when the fixture actually happens, so many things can change. And especially with it being, knockout football, there is that hint of luck, and I guess I'm just afraid to be wrong. That's probably my issue. But you know what? I am going to make my predictions for both competitions and who I think will not just win and go to the next round, but who will take the trophy itself. First, let's start with Europa League. We'll start big and go small. So, right off the bat, I'll just say real quick. United to beat Sevilla, Juventus to beat Sporting, Leverkusen to beat Union, and Roma to beat Feyenoord. Those are my quick predictions, and these are very bland predictions, but they are my predictions. I'm not gonna say a risky one and just lie. This is what I think will be how it kind of pans out. And as we now know, if you don't know, after the quarterfinals, the draw for the rest of the competition is also in place. So the winner of United Sevilla plays the winner of Juventus Sporting, and I think United will. Actually, I'm not entirely sure. See, that's a tough one. I don't know. United or Juventus. United or Juventus. I mean, look, United are I believe the best team in the competition. You have a huge name in Juventus, of course, but they've just been dreadful this season. Actually, that's not true. They've been good, but inconsistent, and as a team, seemingly not coached to top shape, and they can't seem to get a good games going of refinding their form that won them the Serie A every year. It's been a tough time for 3-4 years now. So, and United are just the opposite. They've been in fantastic form. They are one of the most informed teams in the country. In Europe, and extremely confident, oozing with confidence, playing with a manager that they clearly all the players accept and all the players really vibe with. So, yeah. With that being said, I think I'll go for United beating Juventus. I guess I just took my way into it. Then we have what I believe will be Leverkusen versus Roma. This is, I'm not going to lie to you, I have no idea. I don't watch Leverkusen, and I rarely watch Roma. This is just kind of predictions based off of what they once were. But I'm going to go with what I want. And what I want is Roma. Can you imagine a Roma United final? Mourinho returning back to his old team that fired him? That would be sensational. So I'm going to go with United and Roma to make it through into the final. And my final prediction, I will make a video when the time comes of a more detailed prediction, but I'll just say right now, I think United will win the competition. I think they'll take it. So that's the Europa League we're done with. Let's go to the big one where we spend more time on, the Champions League. So we'll start with the first, Real Madrid versus Chelsea. The title holders versus Chelsea, a team that has been struggling for most part of the season. Really found it hard to find some form alongside Potter, and ultimately just having in the Prem at least, just a genuinely dreadful season. And they're going up against Real Madrid, who have been good, I think, this season. Not great, but have been good. I think they started the season very, very well, almost perfect. They had a great record from the start. Things kind of started to wither away, dropping some points, and then Barcelona getting quite a big lead on them in La Liga. But they've been themselves in the Champions League once again, kind of dismantling Liverpool at Anfield, essentially just destroying that tie in just that one game and kind of taking it home in the home leg, the second leg. And it's been business as usual for Real Madrid in the Champions League. And this fixture it's close, I think. You know, when everything tends to scream Real Madrid to win this. They are the far more experienced side. I think they are the far more balanced and, sorry, not balanced, but far more experienced and equipped side for this, mentally equipped side for this fixture. I've spoken about this before. I like Chelsea's squad. I do. I just don't think their manager is the right man. But I do very much favour this squad over many others. And I think there is something there, something great can be done with that squad. The issue is, will Potter be that man? Now, there is this history of teams that have lost all hope in their domestic league because it's just been an awful time. So they put more of their effort, more focus into the Champions League or any form of Europe. And it helps them, it spurs them on and makes them better. And then it could possibly lead to a win, not just a good run in the competition, but a win. It's something to note, but I do think Real Madrid will be a lot more mature, and I think just far more ready and just aware of the moment. And I think they'll take this tie. I'm going for Real Madrid beating Chelsea. Exact score prediction, I'll go for 4-2. 4-2 over the two legs. Moving on, Benfica versus Inter. Now, this is where my, I think what would be an upset comes in. I'm going with Benfica. So, Inter Milan they're a side that lacks creativity. They're very uninspiring, and I think very, very wasteful in front of goal too. Lukaku and Lautaro, Dzeko, of course, is also there. Very wasteful this season. And Benfica have just come off a magnificent win against Bruges, and I think they have a lot of assets in their team that can really hurt Inter Milan. I just think Inter Milan are just a bit too bland, and whilst, listen, if Inter Milan were to win, I would not be surprised, but I'm gonna go for Benfica. My aggregate score, I will say 3-1 Benfica. My full aggregate score. Moving on, actually, let's go to AC Milan vs Napoli first before we go to City Bayern. AC Milan vs Napoli. I'm going for Napoli. Probably the most informed side in world football right now. Now, before, let me just check, because of course they've definitely played each other in Serie A this season. So let's see how those fixtures panned out in the league. Well, let me just go here. Okay, well, let me just find. We got Napoli here. There we go. Matches. All right. Napoli 2-1, and then Milan 1-0. So it's been tight. They haven't actually played the second game of the season yet at Napoli. This season they beat them away 2-1. So that's something. You'd imagine they'd beat them at home too. So. But, you know, I don't really need to see that to know why my pick is Napoli. It's because they are the most informed team in Europe. This whole season, I guess you could say probably only Arsenal have played better football. Or maybe not. Maybe they've played better football than Arsenal too. But yeah, they've just been fantastic. And AC Milan have been somewhat... I've watched them... Out of all the Italian teams, I've watched them more than any other team. And let's just see the table of it, you know... They're sitting at fourth, just not what you were 20 points behind. The league table will tell us that Napoli should be the clear favourites. But of course, this is knockout football and anything can happen. But I'm pretty confident in my pick of Napoli. A great side with a great defense. You know, people talk about Osimhen and Kvara a lot, but I love Kim in the defense. He's fantastic, and it's interesting. You know, it's very, very interesting to see what will the future hold for Napoli. Can they keep on to these players, these fantastic players that they've showcased to Europe? We will see. But yes, I'm going for a Napoli win. Now, the big one. For me, the two best teams in the competition: Manchester City vs Bayern Munich, and I'm going for Manchester City. So, like I said before, sometimes when the league isn't going particularly well, it enables you and it spurs you forward to put more focus and to be far more better in another competition such as the Champions League. Now, City have played well this season. They haven't played bad, they've played well. Okay, not as good as before, of course, but they haven't played bad. They've still genuinely been a great side this season as a whole. I think people kind of go over the top with their criticism because they're not dominating the league as they probably should be, but they're still been good enough. And Bayern Munich, look, I was impressed with their performance against PSG, but not that much. Look, that PSG side it had a forward line that would be good enough for any team in history. But football, especially knockout football, you need balance. And that team lacked as much balance as any team I've seen in the last 5-6 years. The midfield was dreadful, the defense was absolutely atrocious, and even their goalie, who usually is a solid goalie, made some mistakes too. I don't give them much credit for beating PSG. I think it's something that City would have also done. I think Real Madrid would also have beaten them. I think Napoli would have beaten them. And I look around, I think Arsenal and Man United would have beaten that PSG team too. And you could argue a few others, but just as a whole, I can look past Messi and Mbappe and Neymar and understand that PSG team was just never ready to compete for such a trophy. The balance was just not on at all. So look, it's still something, but not much. And just watching Bayern Munich as a whole this season, not great. You know, I would say they've played worse than City. They are in a much lesser league, and I believe, let's just see how the table's going as well. Real quick, bear with me here. Bundesliga. They are first, I believe, yes. But they just took that lead recently. They were behind for some time, but of course I understand it's not about what they once were, it's about what they are now. Have they hit that form where they can solidify the league title and kind of also play to the level that is required to win the Champions League? I don't think so. I'm going for City. I think City will take it. De Bruyne, Haaland, Ruben Diaz in defense. Nathan Ake's been fantastic. Gundogan is a joy to watch. I think Grealish has been great, and I think it's time for Pep to deliver, and I think he will. And hey, it's interesting too. It's Pep against his old side, so that's fun. It's always fun to see that. And as with the Europa League, let's talk about what happens next. So, the winners of Real Madrid and Chelsea, who I believe will be Real Madrid, will be playing the winners of City versus Bayern, which once again I believe will be City. So, who do I think wins here? I'm going with City. I'm going with City. And then after that, we have Benfica is my pick over here to play Napoli over here. And I'm going with Napoli. Napoli are just I think better than Benfica in every way. A better forward line, a better midfield, a better defense, a better coach. I can see the win against Inter Milan because I think Inter Milan isn't as good as people think they are. I think their name carries them, and they do lack creativity, and I think Benfica can punish them for that. But with Napoli, it's a different case. It's a different animal, I think, and it's too much for Benfica. So, with that being said, I believe the final will consist of City and Napoli. And who do I think will win that? I'm going with Manchester City. I don't want it to happen. I don't want City to win a Champions League before Arsenal do, but I think it's finally here. It is a point now where it's like, finally, but I do think City will, in fact, finally win the Champions League, the thing they've been longing for a very long time. But listen, I'm not, crazy about this pick. I'm not set on it. I can very much see Bayern beating City and, Inter Milan beating Benfica, or Chelsea surprising everyone and beating Real Madrid. I can see these things happen. I can't see AC being Napoli, but that's pretty much the only one. But this is knockout football, all right? Anything can happen. Look what just happened yesterday with Arsenal. Sporting won through a penalty shooter in which they equalized through a goal from the halfway line. Are you kidding me? This is football. This is knockout football. The best team, the simple fact is the best team does not always win. And you could say that is actually maybe a huge flaw. You know, we call it the Champions League, but there is that flaw where you can say a league format is far more reliable in telling us who really is the best team. But it is what it is. It's a knockout format, and anyone can win. It's open, and let's see great football. Let's see some enjoyment, some great fixtures here. Pep back at Bayern, Napoli meeting their same old country rivals. Chelsea could make a huge statement here. Potter could make a huge statement here with a win against Real Madrid. Ancelotti, as we know, with the whole Real Madrid issue, he's fighting for his career over there. If he doesn't win that, then he probably won't win the La Liga, of course, and maybe not the Copa del Rey. But yeah, look, we'll see how things pan out. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think City will take it finally, or does it belong to someone else? What are your chances for Napoli? That's the one I'm interested in most. Do you think Napoli could actually do it? Who knows? Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Please subscribe for more. Please take care of yourself, and please have a great day. Cheers.